What's going on, everybody? I thought we'd do a quick live stream. I know football's on today. A lot of people like college football. I do myself. But just wanted to kind of speak with everybody because I know we get tired of our cars. Last night was one of those nights for me, and I want to share that with you. Now, I have a video coming out talking about all the stuff that happened, but I was so ready to just throw my hands up. And I know a lot of you guys are feeling the same way. What's going on, Hot MacGyver? So last night we had some issues with the Carbon Fox. Guys, I'm going to keep this kind of short, probably about 30 minutes here. And the reason for telling this is I want to remind everybody that, look, we're all human, okay? It's not just you. We go through this shit. So we'll let a couple more people get in the house and then we'll go ahead with this. What's going on, Terry? Put it in reverse, Terry. Red man in the house. I'm there right now. Okay, there you go. So the Fox Life says is there right now. So check this out. Now, I don't know what you guys think of me having a YouTube channel, whether it's easy or harder or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to say it's either or. I'll say there's a lot of pressure on me because obviously we're on camera and we need these cars to run right, perform right, all that type of stuff. But I mean, it's that way for everybody, right? You put a lot of money in your stuff and you get aggravated. Shit breaks. And it's just like, how many times can I fix this? Like, you know, I'm just ready to wash my hands of this car. And it may not be a Mustang. It could be anything. All right. So trust me, I go through the same thing. So here's the deal. I'm going to try to spell this out as best I can. Now, like I said, I've got a video coming out on it because there's some more stuff in there that I want you guys to see. So last night, I changed around some vacuum lines on the Carbon Fox, just trying to clean up the engine bay. Prior to that, I put all new exhaust. Well, not all new, but I put the flow tubes on the car with the Jones mufflers and all that type stuff. So I'm getting pretty excited. I'm like, I'm ready to drive this thing. We changed around the meth. Let me take this thing off. Okay. So we changed around the way the meth was inserted into the intake tube. Let's see what else. We did some other stuff too. Loaded a new tune. Hold on. Hold on, guys. All right, so we'll just have to do it from right here, I guess. My camera's wanting to act crazy today. So let me make sure that my audio is still good, though, because sometimes that changes as well. Yeah, we're good. All right, so I loaded in the new tune that I got from Leach Motorsports, and I decided to go drive this car. Well, I mean, everything's doing good. So I take it to the gas station. I put some gas in this thing, and I noticed while it was sitting there, it wanted to act a little funny. Had like a misfire to it almost. And I'm like, what's going on with this? Well, I get in the car, I put gas in, I get in the car, I drive it, and it's doing great. Well, that was weird. Maybe it's just an anomaly. So I drive it for, I don't know, a couple of miles. I hit my favorite spot. I pull this thing down in first, and I'm like, all right, I'm data logging. I'm going to go ahead and check this thing, make sure everything's good. So I hit it, and immediately, as soon as I hit the car, it started to misfire big time. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We've blown a head gasket. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, we've blown a head gasket on this thing, and now I got to go home and pull this damn thing apart, and I don't want to do that right now. So I drive it a little bit further. Sure enough, it never straightened up. It was still misfiring. So I eased the car home, but I'm looking at the AFR ratio on it, and it's fine. The AFR is fine. So obviously, my wideband is on the driver's side. So that means if something happened, it probably happened on the passenger side. So I get this thing home. As I'm pulling into the driveway, I hear the loudest header like tick you've ever heard in your life. Like it just completely, I guess, blew the gasket out. And I'm like, what is this? So my immediate reaction was this damn thing is blowing a head gasket to the point to where it's literally blowing fire out of the head gasket. I'm like, this is going to be bad. I get it home. I pull it in here and I switch it off. And I'm just like, you got to be shitting me. Well, you know what? Screw it at this point. I'm going to let this thing sit for a second and I'm going to try to start it, which is never a good thing if you think you've blown a head gasket because you could break stuff. If that cylinder fills up with water, that's not good. Typically, though, I will say a starter's not usually strong enough to cause an issue unless it tries to fire off. Anyway, I decided I was going to do it anyway. So I let the car sit for a second and I go to turn it on. I don't hear the fuel pump. What the hell is this? So I go back to the trunk where my relay is. I wiggle the relay, wiggle some stuff around, and all of a sudden the fuel pump come on. I'm like, okay, we got a relay issue here. Now, all this stuff's happening at the same time, right? So go back in the car, switch it on again. Fuel pump's still fine. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's start this thing up and see what happens. Let's try. Nothing. Car starts, no issues. No issues at all, other than the blown header gasket. Like, okay, let me drive this thing. So I drove the car. It's hard to tell if a car is like got a misfire or not when you have a really, really bad header leak. Obviously, it just sounds like it's misfiring. So I drive this thing down the road, and it seems to drive fine. Coolant temperature is good. AFR is good. Get it back home. I'm like, all right, well, at this point, I at least need to go ahead and replace the header gasket. So I do that. I replace the header gasket. It was late last night. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I obviously have a head gasket or something. Now, I did look at all the plugs, and all the plugs looked good. They were dry. I mean, no issue, but I'm thinking, surely we got a head gasket or something, and, whatever. Get in the car today, drive it. No problem. By the way, I changed the plugs out as well. Put auto lights in it. I know, right? Auto lights. But it's supposed to have a gasket style spark plug in this car, and it didn't. So I was like, let me go ahead and just change all the stuff. So long story short, here's the deal. Last night I was ready to set fire to this car. I mean, I just, I even reached the point to where I've had enough. I've had enough of this shit. This car's just going to have to sit for a while because I'm done with it. Now, truth be known, if it had blown a head gasket, I probably would have just got out there and got after it. But here's what I want to tell you guys. Shit's going to happen to you. The best thing to do is go ahead and try to diagnose the problem. Whatever the problem is that you've had, just go ahead and dig into it if you have time, because it really doesn't cost you anything to go ahead and start pulling parts off. Now, you have to kind of work off the adrenaline rush of this happening to you, which all of us get. Your shit tears up no matter how discouraged you are or how angry you are. You need to just go ahead as soon as it cools down enough to touch it and start pulling shit off and checking things. Don't just walk inside and forget about it. I think that's a bad move. For some of you guys, maybe that's a good thing, but for me, I can't do that. So, all this last night, the frustration and everything else, it turned out to be nothing. Now, it was something. Obviously, the car started misfiring. Here's the deal. Here's what I think happened last night. So remember I told you I changed all my vacuum lines around on the car. I'm trying to clean it up under the engine bay. I don't have a lot of the locks that are on my injectors. So for the little plugs, the little harnesses that plug into the top of your injector, they're not there. So any wrong movement and you can, release one of those plugs. So I think last night, whenever I was messing around with all that, I actually kind of loosened one of them up. And if you guys don't know, even with, the car doesn't have solid motor mounts, but that motor does tweak. The engine tweaks pretty hard on this whenever you hit it. So the only thing I can think of is one of the injectors kind of came loose, because when I got out, I checked all that stuff and I thought I felt one that maybe was a little loose. So that's probably what the issue was. But that doesn't explain why the fuel pump quit. So it could have been a fuel, pump issue. Anyway, guys, I just want to remind you, it happens to everybody and you can't give up. You just cannot. You got to get out there and get after it. You're going to feel defeated. And that's just something that we can't do. Now, I know not everybody has the money. I do understand that. I don't have the money. I don't have the money to throw another engine in this car or build some dart block or boss block or stroker. I just don't. So we got to deal with whatever happens. And when you're playing with these cars like this and you're building engines, you're playing with fire. Point blank, period. You got a nitrous car, a turbo car, a blower car, a hot NA car, or just anything in general. If you're out there beating on it, you're playing with fire. It's going to happen. So you just have to remember to stay calm. Look, the best thing you can do, and I say this all the time, throw some music on. Shit like this happens, guys, go ahead, if you have time, and get after it. Throw some music on, man. Grab you a beer, do whatever you got to do, and just start pulling crap off and find out what the problem is. At least at that point, you kind of know. But you guys going through the same thing, I know. Hello from Ohio. Ohio, how do I say it? Ohio. Yeah, I got in trouble from Neo on that. He's like, Ohio, what's that? That's just how we say it around here. OG Superfly Garage. I fight through feelings like that. Yeah, exactly what he said right here. You have to look for the small victories. Okay. A lot of this is common knowledge. You're like, well, dude, you're not telling me anything that I don't already know. But here's what I want you to know. I go through the same damn thing you do, and you just got to make yourself get motivated. Here's the secret to it, I guess. Nobody wants to have to change a head gasket or pull an engine out or even change a header gasket for that matter. We don't want to have to do that. But you got to do it if you want your car back on the road. So the best thing you can do is motivate yourself. Just say, to hell with it. This is a shitty ass situation. Here's what I do. I'm like, you know what? I got a wonderful family. I've got beautiful kids. I got a wife that loves me. I've got a job. right? I'm still walking this earth. I'm still alive. I still got you guys. And you have to look at it that way. You got to take all the positives and apply it to your situation, because you can turn the worst situation into something decent. It's all mental. I tell you guys this all the time. It's all in your brain. All the issues and how upset you are is all because of your own doing. You just have to chill out a little bit and get after it. Now, there's the whole like money side of things, and I do understand that, because not everybody has the money to fix their car. But and maybe you don't want to tear it apart because you don't have the money and you're not going to have it for 6 months or a year. So I do understand that. But for most of us, just go ahead and tear it apart. Even if you don't have it right now, maybe it's going to take a couple of weeks. At least at this point, by the time you get your money to order the parts, you'll know what you need to order. So the best thing to do is just get after it, guys. So Bravo Man says, whenever I feel like giving up, I just watch your channel and get hyped up again. Just keep swimming. That's right. You have to, man. You really don't have a choice. It's either fix what the issue is or give up. And none of us want to be quitters, right? None of us want to give up. You also have to remember, you have people watching you more than likely. You either have friends, family, wife, kids, whatever the case may be, watching you. Do you want them to watch you fail? No. You want them to see that you've persevered, that you've worked through your problems, and you want to show them how to do it. And look, it doesn't hurt to bring somebody outside. Maybe your wife's like, really? You tore it up again? Say, come outside. Let me run this by you here. Let me tell you what's happened. And this is what I'm going to try to do to fix it. Here's the thing. You need to try to teach anybody, and at least anybody that you can teach, but at the same time, you need to let people know, kind of like in your family, hey, what's going on? Don't just be the guy that goes out there and just grinds it out for a week straight and doesn't go inside and do shit with your family and just completely write them off. We have to remember we have families, or we have friends, or we have a job. And that's the other side of it too. You can't be out there so much to where it's affecting your job. But I think it's beneficial to show yourself that you can do this. I'm telling you, that's a huge thing. So yeah, I'm fighting a white 93 right now. Yeah. The Foxlight says, I keep getting a stall when cruising in the neighborhood at low speed, and when I let off the gas, it dies. That could be an injector issue. Myself and Matt were talking about this. I keep looking at this camera. You guys are right here. But me and Matt were talking about this a couple of days ago. It could be the dead time on your injectors. I ran into an issue. I had an issue with the red car and with the gray car, to where it would want to die like through transitions. In other words, like you're in park and you got to pull this thing into drive. Sometimes it would die. Well, we put new injectors in it and supercharger, and all that shit went away with a tune. Now, he was already tuning it before with the old injectors. So here's what I think happened. I think that our injectors just weren't firing right and weren't doing what they were supposed to do. I'm going to have a podcast here probably in the next few days with Matt from Leach Motorsports, and we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff that you guys are having issues with, but it very well could be an injector issue. Finally got to catch you live. What's up, Glenn? I'm at my garage taking a motor out of my neighbor's beautiful 78 F-154 rebuild. Awesome, man. That's cool. Enjoy your day, man. Yeah. So look, you got supporters here. Okay. I keep looking at this damn thing. It's you guys aren't up there, but you got supporters here. We all understand. Don't ever feel like that it's just you by yourself. Okay. It's not. We all go through the same shit. Some worse than others, but there's a key to this, because, and here's why I'm telling you guys this, because years ago, whenever I was younger, I would get defeated. And it's like, it's even worse when there's nobody that cares about what you're doing. In other words, you don't have a bunch of car buddies, or you don't have a bunch of Fox Body friends. Your wife doesn't give a shit, or your husband doesn't care, or whoever the case may be. Nobody cares. And you're going through this alone. This is where it's the hardest. I had to deal with that. And it was like, man, I had car friends and car buddies, if you will, but at the same time, it's not like it is now. When I run into a problem, I have the benefit of showing you guys the fix for it and showing you how to get through it. But here's the thing, you can still do that in life. And it's mentally, I think it's something that helps you out. Even if there's nobody there at the moment to see you fix the car or fix the issue, apply this to anything in life, okay? Your house or whatever. But if there's nobody there to see you do it, there's really probably nobody there that's going to benefit from it, or at least you think. But here's the thing. Mentally, you've taught yourself how to overcome something, and you can apply that knowledge and that mindset later on to anything else in your life, which can in turn benefit somebody on down the road that you interact with. You see what I'm saying? This all matters. When you give up, that affects you as a person, and you don't ever want to give up. Now, sometimes it has to happen, and you have to sell something because you just don't have the money, or it's just too much. It could be to the point to where you're having to fix problems and do shit to where it's taking money away from your household, with your family, and your significant others. Like, look, this shit's got to go. Or maybe you're like that. Maybe it's like, I can't do this anymore. But outside of those extreme examples, push through and get the shit done. You guys agree with that? Yeah, man, I'm on the lonely road. All right, so let's talk about James here real quick. James says that he's on the lonely road, and I get what you're saying, man. Here's the thing, though. Self-motivate. You got to do it. I've said this a million times before. Make something up in your head to where somebody doubts you. Just get it in your head that you can't, that people think you can't do this shit. I'll tell you this. If it'll help you, James, you can't do this. You don't know what the hell you're doing, man. You'll never be able to fix whatever it is that you're trying to fix. You can't do it. You're just not capable of it. So just hang it up and forget about it. You suck. If I need to be that guy, I can be that guy for you. See, that's what we have to do. I have to tell myself that there are haters out there and that there are people that don't believe in me and think that I'm going to fail. And mentally, that's all it takes for me. And I get ramped up. I'm ready to go. Now, James, obviously, I don't feel that way about you. I don't know you. But if that's what you need, then make that shit up. Pretend like I'm talking to each and every one of you right now. You suck and you don't know what you're doing. And I think you're a joke. Like, I don't care. I can be that guy for you, because that's what it takes sometimes to self-motivate. Now, everybody's not the same, right? For some of you guys, having a support system is great, and that's all you ever need. You're just naturally self-motivated. But for a lot of other people, it's just not that way, and you got to find a way around it. Okay, he says, I'm motivated. I just don't have anyone around me. Yeah. So I get it. Like, I get you're motivated, but that's where, look, you guys might think that Andrew's here with me all the time, turning wrenches and helping me. And I've got like this crew or something, I guess, in the background that helps me. No. Look, most of the time when people come over, they're here for moral support. They're here to chill out and just talk. That's it, which does help. But at the same time, you just have to get out here and do the shit yourself, right? It's your card. You do it yourself. Sometimes you do need help, like with a transmission or an engine install or something like that. So I do understand. But you don't have to have somebody there all the time to help you, which a lot of you guys know that. Matter of fact, I've not seen Andrew in like over a month. I've not even seen him. Yeah, smash the like button, guys. But you guys get what I'm trying to say here, okay? Motivation helps all. Yes, it does. Well, look, I know everybody's trying to watch a little bit of football today. I just want to remind you, okay? Look, I was ready to give up last night, but I went ahead and stuck it out. And I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I didn't just go inside and completely forget about, or try to forget about, what I was doing and what the issue was, because you're not going to get any sleep. And if you have time, just go ahead and tear into it. I'm so glad that I did that, so that's not lingering. Anybody else got any words of wisdom that they would like to share? How do you go about it? We'll probably be on for another 5 minutes or so. Type it down. I mean, people can read these comments. How do you deal with stuff? I always get frustrated. I found my first car, a 90 LX hatch. I found it stripped. A lot of work to continue grinding. Yeah. That's very similar to the way that the Calypso was. It was basically stripped. Well, I had to strip it. So at that point it stripped, and I had to buy all new parts and everything else. And that's really hard. That's hard to do, because you got to find every nut, every bolt, all this shit. And you're like, did I get everything right? So it's really hard to do that. But if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything. Yeah, man. Absolutely. It feels better when you finish it, for sure. Look, we talk about Fox bodies like that's the only thing in the world that matters. But no, you can apply this to every single thing in your life. Just don't give up. Just keep going. Just look, we could turn this into a church session, like real easy, because somebody's got to motivate some of you. Some of you just have to hear this shit. You just have to be forced to get the hell up in life and do something. Some of you do. And although that's not really what this video is, it is a good reminder, though, that you still do have to get up and get shit done. You just have to. So OG Superfly Garage. Oh yeah, he has a channel as well. So I didn't know this. What is the exact name of your channel, OG? Put it down in the comments for everybody. So go over and check out my boy. Like, he is one of the biggest supporters on this channel. And he didn't ask me to do this, but he's such a freaking good guy. Put your YouTube information down here, and you guys go over and check out OG. He has been a huge supporter of this channel and a super nice guy. Okay. I keep pushing through it. I look at the positive of a situation. Like, think of a way I bought the car and begin with and focus on that. I get what you're saying there. And that's really what you have to do. I gave up when my dad passed away from cancer. I finally am to the point to starting. Now listen, blood, sweat, and gears. That's really, really tough. Because as you guys know, I'm going through the same thing. That can either tear you down, when something like that happens, or you can use it as fuel. Now, here's the deal. That's something that takes time. Some of us can have something like that happen to us and immediately get out there and just kill it. But if I'm being honest, when a situation like this happens, sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes it's just not, because that's not the main focus, right? But in time, it will be. In time, as it starts to settle, you can use something like that as fuel, okay? But I completely understand, and I hate to hear that, man, but I'm glad that you're getting back motivated again. I love the Fox community. Absolutely, 90LX. I love it as well. 9% prep results and outstanding results. That's true. So you guys, look, prep everything, okay? Prepare for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a game plan going into it, whether it's like prep for parts before you put them on, whatever it may be. Just prep for everything, okay? Yeah, absolutely, man. Look, you didn't ask for that, but you absolutely deserve it. But put the name of the YouTube channel, because it's not OG Superfly Garage exactly, is it? I guess it is, because that's what's showing up on here. So, but either way, you guys go check him out. Yeah, stay motivated. Look, guys, I know there's 76 people in here. I know a lot of you obviously probably aren't trying to watch football right now. It's a Saturday. I've got Hunter coming over and his family, so we're going to get this smoker fired up. I just wanted to take a little bit of time with you on a Saturday, chill out with you guys, and let you know that I'm still here. And I'm taking the freaking day off. I'm not doing shit today, but watching football with the family and chilling out a little bit, okay? So you guys, yes, okay, so it's the exact same name. I'm sorry. Kind of like a duh moment here on his name. If that's what shows up on YouTube, then that is your YouTube name. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Stay tuned, and you will see all the trials and tribulations, if you will, of the Carbon Fox coming up here real soon. I'll have that up for you guys on Monday. And as always, thanks for watching.